Incremental greetings. Let's continue the Supermemo course, the Pleasurable expansion. Now it's turn for the root element in your collection. When you create a new collection, there will be already one element already. By default, has one element. That will be the root element.
Remember, this is specific to every concept. So now we're going to create a second concept, but first...
So in his case, the root element is web course.
Set hook. Change hook, concept, touch the root, okay? Please, don't touch it. It's not for anything. It doesn't do...
In this case, it's not an illustrative example because the root of the concept is at the same time the root of the collection. So you cannot differentiate what he means by root. So let me tackle this. I'll be showing different collections, so it's more obvious. So yes, I'm not that original. I called my root element root. Oh my God. And it is a concept. Now, let me go to my English collection. That is almost
remnant.
That is almost the default. That is the root concept or root element, because the root element is always a concept. In this case, Advanced English collection. That's a good example that is never used. So all of the elements, you will see that says no group. So that means that the concept, Advanced English 2018, is never used at all. It's only used physically to have children, but not in semantically. If we go to a registry, we only have this one. And what on earth? What's happening here? You have users' own items as the root and the hook. Perhaps what I said is wrong. Let's go there. Oh well, still says no group. But as soon as I do something, I create a new item, the item will have this concept. And in this case, says root. Why it says root, colon, and the name? Well, remember, this is the element, is the concept element, and that's the title. Remember that this title is independent of the concept registry member, that in this case is like this. So this is super misleading. That's why I wanted to cover the English collection in case you bought it, because rename Advanced English collection. That is super misleading. You cannot comprehend how misleading that is. Now it's Advanced English collection. Unless in the ancestors, it says concept. It says the root element. Then, if you are in any place in the collection, you can always go directly to your root. First, go to the first element, Alt-Home. Here you go. Why? Because the root is always the first one. How so? Because when you create a new collection, let's call example, I already have that. There's a concept with the name of the collection. And now here we'll say root dot an example. Why? It's the same as the Advanced English collection. It's the same case. It pre-appends a root. Now, if I create some dummy, and now I create, what I can do is I can go to the registry, add, let's call it just new. There's no way I can make any other concept the root element. I cannot move to the parent of that, or this to the child of that. It's not possible. If I do, and I force that, move, it doesn't work. It's always. The root is always the root. And if you want to delete it, cannot delete the tree root. For the record, if we go to the element types, hey, I can get rid of the concept, make it a topic. Cannot delete the concept associated with the root element. Still allowed me to do that. Now it's a topic. Don't do this. As soon as you repair the collection, that we will see eventually, it's unnecessary to do that. You're playing with fire unnecessarily. So don't ever change the element type of the root. Let it be a concept. Even if you never in your life use it as a for the hooks. Remember, let me go to my collection. In my case, I do use it now. Do you see those folders? Those are my import folders. So when I import something, I have my root element. I'll be using, and here you go. I used 2020 MB. What is this? This is my hook. I'm having a different hook branch because I have way too many. I'm exceeding what's called the maximum amount of children. That by design you can set it up to 500. So in other words, the root element is the start of the collection. It's how it is designed. You cannot change that. Then what I suggest is to use it to your advantage. Here, in my case, this is a special because I use it for my videos, for my channel. Once I stop doing YouTube videos about Supermemo, I will change this. And I can have like bookmarks. Something I do the most commonly. So for my convenience, I just click PUM and I go to a different element, a different branch of the collection, whatever I may want. Or like a small to-do list that I could have that do this. Something that is done today in a few hours. So the lifetime is very simple and you have it on the front. Totally valid. And remember that by default, the root is dismissed. And we have seen that, okay, let it be a concept, don't mess with this. But hey, something we will see eventually, now no worries about this, is that I can force it to be on my learning process. Do you see now the color is orange? That means it's not dismissed. In incremental reading section of the course, this will make sense. That means that the root itself could appear. And that actually is what I did. Then, as a wrap up, it's perfectly fine if you just ignore it, and the root element is dismissed, and you never use the hook, you never set any concept as the root, and so on. Perfectly fine. The name, by default, is the name of the collection, but remember, you can rename this anytime. So I can have this learning, my learning, Guillem, my actual name, school, whatever you want. This collection is called learning, by the way. But the concept the root was just called root, not learning, because I changed that. And on top of that, if you noticed, in my concept registry, I have an underscore. This is just for my convenience. When I want to use it on the import, here I just press underscore, and here you go. It's the only candidate. It's just for my own convenience, not required. So in the documentation, whenever they mention the root element, it's this one. When they mention root of a concept, it's not this. The root of the concept is this property of a concept, not a concept element, by the way, a concept registry member. And for the root, it will be itself. By default, you can also modify that, like the Advanced English collection. There's only one concept, and not the hook or the root are the root element. The only thing that is required is its existence and the fact that it has to be a concept. Other than that, whatever you want to do. See you in the next video.